weeks.
That chief's tweet said, "It is with great sadness I bear the news that Officer Chris Cortijo passing this afternoon. God bless his family." My sources inside the LAPD told me on that night when this accident happened that they had brought in his family, his parents, ex-wife, 2 children, a girlfriend, to be with him by his side. As you can imagine, a very, very difficult time for this family as they had to make some difficult choices involving their loved one. I do know one of the officers down there escorting his colleague, and I could tell you he was quite broken up, being a motor officer, a very scary job as it is. And then when you have somebody who hit this officer, arrested on drug charges, driving under the influence, and you think that this officer worked the DUI task force, makes it even more real and even more heartbreaking.
Just sitting right at an intersection, parked, if you will, waiting for the light to turn green. His captain, LAPD Captain Maureen Ryan, also tweeted, "Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. You will be greatly missed. Rest in peace, brother. Our thoughts and prayers remain with your family." Tyler Eisen, I believe is pronounced his last name, president of the Los Angeles Police Protective League, has also offered condolences, saying, "We lost another great officer and partner." Now, this is actually a very interesting phenomenon, occurrence, brotherhood, if you will, because this isn't something that's planned. These motor officers get together and they're all called, and whichever ones can show up, whether on or off duty, they form this motorcade. And someone who knows about this and knows what the brotherhood of motor officers is all about is former LAPD Sergeant, former LA City Councilman Dennis Zine, who joins us on the phone. Hi, Dennis.
Jeff, good afternoon.
So in a case like this, what happens, Dennis? Am I right? Do you get the call and someone says, "Hey, man, get on your uniform and get to your bike. We need you"?
Well, you do. In this particular situation, the officer is deployed. He's on the roll call. He's out on patrol. Stops at the red light. I stopped at many red lights. Lancaster and Chattacoy work in the North Hollywood area. And you're waiting for the lights to turn green. You're on patrol, and all of a sudden, you're rear-ended, and the next thing, you're unconscious, and then you pass away. It's a hazard that every officer faces. Working motorcycle, I did as a supervisor and as a motorcycle officer for 18 years. Many of my partners were in collisions. Some of them passed away. It's a dangerous assignment. Motorcycle is a very dangerous assignment, but they do it because they want to keep the roads safe, and that's the purpose. Officer Cortijo, 26 years, dedicated service to the people of Los Angeles, and the lady that plowed into him, a number of felony warrants under the influence, and we talk about people driving under influence. These are the tragedies that happen to the general public, and then they hit us in law enforcement, as we've seen happen in this tragedy with this dedicated member of the LAPD.
Dennis, talking with you earlier, you informed me that you were amongst those who showed up to donate blood. You told me you did not know this officer, but you felt compelled to go down and give in that way. Tell me what it was like down there to see so many of your brothers in the law enforcement community coming from so many different agencies.
That's true. I went yesterday to Mission Station. The day before, I went to Holy Cross Hospital, and the wait was 3 to 5 hours. And they said, "Well, we should come back tomorrow, go to Mission Station," which I did yesterday and gave the blood yesterday. But it was a tremendous outpouring of support from not only law enforcement and the fire service, Highway Patrol, sheriffs, LAPD, other agencies, the general public. They received a tremendous amount in his honor, because whether he needed it or not, or someone else needed it, point love and support for that particular officer in that tragedy. Then we had the situation that occurred at West Traffic Division, where the individual goes in the police station and just starts shooting at the police officers. I mean, these officers face a dangerous situation every single day, whether you're at the desk or on a motorcycle or in a police car. I mean, we've had 2 tragic deaths recently. The officer from Hollywood that was crushed to death, and now this officer, the motorcycle officer. It's a very dangerous assignment. The public doesn't really understand what the family members go through, what the public goes through, the sacrifices made to protect and serve the people of Los Angeles. And not knowing, remember where I served for 12 years, and understand what these officers have experienced. I gave blood in honor of Officer Cortijo, and the public turned out en masse. There were a number of officers that I know that were there at Holy Cross, and also there yesterday at Mission Station. But this is just an outpouring of love and support to show our commitment and our compassion compassion for a fellow human being and member of a law enforcement community.
And Dennis, as we watch this show of support from law enforcement, it's interesting about that blood drive because I spoke with a captain at that division who was telling me he thought that the blood drive was going to be just internal for people that were members of law enforcement. And then the next thing you know, Chief Charlie Beck tweeted out for the public to turn out. So I know you had quite a turnout. Jeff, you just...
No, I just wanted to point out, there you see the LA Fire Department.
And look at that there.
With its ladders in an A formation. That's a formation of honor.
Right.
You see that as they go toward the freeway. I'm not sure which fire station they just went past.
Dennis, are you watching this location on our coverage? Do you know where they are? Can you paint a picture for us?
I don't. I'm in Sherman Oaks right now. They're great to meet with a number of law enforcement officials, so I'm unaware of what's on the
They're heading toward the 405. I think that was they just crossed over and I mean it looks like they're not taking the 5. That is a coroner van, so you would assume that they are heading down to the LA County Coroner's Office, which is down right in the center of Los Angeles, which would be you take the 5. But it looks like maybe Dennis, they're going to go by Valley traffic. You never know.
Well, they may do that. I know that an autopsy will be ordered. They knew that. I understand that, and I hope they file murder charges on the lady who crashed into Officer Cortijo. I mean, she deserves that for the interest of public safety, so this doesn't happen again to another individual. But while we show love and support and respect for this officer, this situation, as we know with Candy Lightner, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, We Save Lives, all the other organizations, people every day are getting killed by people who are under the influence. This tragic situation hopefully will not repeat itself, but people need to recognize the hazards that the officers go through every day. And this officer, 26 years on the job, eligible for retirement with a lovely family, and this is what he experiences. He won't get 1 day of retirement, and his family will grieve, and the people at Valley Traffic will grieve.
Dennis.
And it reminds me of the Clarence Wayne Dean who passed away going to work.
Dennis.
All right,
the earthquake.
Dennis, I have to interrupt you for just a second.
Stay with us, though.
Well, we just hit the top of the hour here.
Okay.
And once again, we're rejoining our coverage. This is KTTV, Fox 11 Los Angeles, Studio 11 LA. You are watching our live coverage of a police processional in memory of and with the body of Officer Chris Cortijo, who just died today after being struck when he was on his motorcycle. With us on the phone has been former officer, former LA City Councilman Dennis Zine, and we've been talking about the job of being a motor officer and about the family that he leaves behind. And Dennis, you were saying that he doesn't get any retirement, but I know there is a brotherhood of officers, the Police Protective League and others who will